Hello, I'm Mr. Hamilton. I'm the head teacher at Firhill High School. I will have probably seen many of you before, and hopefully quite a few of you will remember or recognise me. But over the next 6 years, we're bound to get to know each other well. Normally, today would have been the start of your 3-day visit, and I would have had an assembly this morning, and I would have spoken to you about what to expect, not just in the next 3 days, but also when you come to Firhill for good in August. And I thought it might be helpful just to spend a few minutes talking through, I suppose, some of the things that will be the same come August and some of the things in the current situation that will be a bit different. I think it's always good if you've got a little bit of advance notice and you can think about these things between now and August, kind of get your head round them. The last time you were in school was March the 20th. Well, last time any of us were properly in school was March the 20th. And that probably to lots of you seems like a long time. I hope since then you've been working well on the work and the tasks that your primary school teachers have set you, and I'm sure you have. And I'm sure you will also have learnt lots of valuable lessons about what works for you in terms of working at home and doing things online, and maybe what's not so good. Good routines, and also the routines that get in the way of good learning and understanding. And it's really important that while you take a break over the summer, you don't forget the good things, the things that helped you learn, because you're still going to need to use those when you're here at Firhill from August. Normally, you'd have had a fair few chances over the last few months to come up to Firhill and visit the school, to have had a look around, and for you to get used to being in the building. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do those things for the vast majority of you. However, most of you will have had a chance at some point, probably in P6 at least, to have come up to the school and spend a bit of time here. So when you are here, not everything is going to be unfamiliar. But some things will be different. The building will look much the same, but of course inside the building, it will be a bit different. We will have our one-way system. We'll have lots of signage to remind you of which way you need to walk, and also reminding you to keep your proper distance. At the moment it's 2 metres, and we're assuming it will be the same in August, but that might change. If it does, then so will the signs and the reminders about what you need to do. Classrooms, well, they'll look a lot the same, but of course there'll be a lot less pupils in each of them. In most of our rooms in Firhill, probably only about 12 pupils at a time, although some of our bigger rooms might have 15. That means that your classes are going to look and feel different from what you had at primary school, and probably a lot different from what you expected coming up to secondary. One thing that will be a wee bit like primary school is that you will stay in a room probably for quite a long time each day. You'll have a block of lessons, different subjects, and the teacher will come to the classroom, you'll stay put, and you'll be taught a different subject. Teacher will go away, a different one will come and teach you a different subject. And then probably in an afternoon or a morning, that's when you'll move about to some of the practical lessons. So it will be a bit of a kind of halfway house really between what you're used to in primary, pretty much in one space, and secondary, where of course normally there's a lot of moving around. Learning, that's going to look and feel a bit different. You're going to be having time in school, face-to-face with your teachers, and that's going to be really important time. And of course, that time needs to be used really carefully. So we're going to be asking your teachers to do the things in those lessons that need to be done when there are teachers there. And then if you don't need a teacher to do it, those are the kind of bits of your learning that you're going to be doing at home. And that mixture, a lot of people are going to talk about it being blended learning, we think is a really exciting opportunity. Not just while we've got this coming out of lockdown period, but also once that's all back to normal, I think there are some things here we can continue to do that will really help you to learn better than maybe we would have been doing before. I mentioned a wee bit earlier that the things that you've been doing that work well for you, keep doing them when you're here. And that's why it's important to think about that now and remember them. So by August, you haven't forgotten all the good habits that help you to learn. So those are some of the things that will be different, but there are also a lot of things that will be the same. So we all expect you to work hard in school and at home on the tasks that your teachers set you. Hard work will let you do well. Hard work will reward you with better learning, better understanding, and ultimately better qualifications. We will expect you to still behave well. Good behaviour will let you learn well, it will let your classmates learn well, it will let your teacher teach well, but also in the current situation, it will keep everybody safe. And that's really, really important. So good behaviour, as always, is going to be important. Respect. It's a big part of how we behave at Firhill, what we think about the way that people should behave. You should respect your fellow pupils. You clearly should be respecting all of the staff, teaching and non-teaching. But really importantly, you need to respect yourself. Behave in a way that allows you to do well all the time. About this time in the assembly, I would probably ask everybody who's feeling a bit nervous to put their hand up. And normally just about everybody does. Feeling nervous about coming up to high school is a pretty normal thing. Ask your parents, they probably felt nervous too. But it's a bit like when you go and do anything exciting or anything new. Think about the last trip you took to something you really wanted to see or really wanted to do. I'll bet as well as being excited, you were probably a bit nervous too. That's a natural, healthy, good feeling. And so don't worry about it. Things will go fine if you stick to those basic rules about your behaviour, about working hard, but also you have lots of teachers and staff around you who are going to help you. I also like to think that you're about to begin on what's a really exciting journey. Most of you will be 12 years old. By the time you leave Firhill, most of you will be 18. Now, during those 6 years, a lot changes. You'll all get a lot taller, that's almost for sure. But you'll also think differently. You'll know a lot more. You'll act differently. You'll feel differently about yourself, the world, and the people around you. And that journey, that time of change is really exciting. And spending that time with young people as a teacher, it's a great privilege. We enjoy sharing that with you because we know it's an exciting time in terms of your own learning and discovering about the world. So if you're feeling a wee bit nervous, that's okay. But think about how exciting those next 6 years are going to be, what that journey is going to be like. There will be lots and lots of successes in your time at Firhill. Right from day one, there'll be things that go really well that you'll be really pleased about. Sometimes there might be some tricky bits and difficult times, and that's pretty normal too. Don't worry about it, because all around you there will be teachers as well as older pupils who will help you. Your PSLs, you'll get a chance to meet when you're here in August. They are a great team in terms of pupil support, looking after you. Our support for learning team's really great if you're struggling a bit with your learning. And the deputies and myself and all the teachers in the school are there to help you out. If you're not sure what to do, ask. If things aren't going so well, tell us and we'll help you fix it. I didn't want to give you a huge amount of information about what August is going to look like. I've given you a little bit because a lot of it is still to be decided. There are things happening all the time about how we deal with the current crisis and what that will mean for what learning and what school looks like, even how many pupils will be coming in every day. But don't worry, we'll be updating through your primary schools your parents, and they can pass that information on to you. Now, I'm sure you've still got lots of questions about coming up to high school. I'm sure you've got lots of questions about what it will be like to be here full-time as a Firhill pupil. But whatever it looks like in August, however it might be a bit different from normal or a bit different from primary school, there's some really simple things I want to remind you about. When you work hard and you work with your teachers and you behave well, then I can guarantee you that you're going to do well at Firhill. And that's a deal. If you do those things, I know for sure you will do well. So remember that. That's really important. The next time I get to see you will be in August. And I really look forward to that when you're here physically in the building and I get a chance, probably in relatively small groups, to say hello to you in person and to welcome you properly, formally, officially as a Firhill High School student. So until then, enjoy your last few days of Primary 7. I hope you look back on your primary years with a lot of affection. I'm sure you do. Enjoy a good break over the summer. I hope we get a bit of decent weather, and if the lockdown releases a little bit more, then chances to go and do things that maybe you've not been able to do with your family for a while. And then when I see you in August, be there ready to work hard and to do your best, not just in S1, but right through all of your years. 6 of them, I hope, at Firhill. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.